Hello guys and welcome back to another FPL video. My name is FP Meerkat and today I've got my Game Week 28 team selection for you guys. But before I get into that, let's have a look at how the team did in Game Week 27. You can probably tell this isn't my proper setup. I completely forgot I hadn't done my team selection video, so I've had to very quickly just get my phone set up just to quickly run through my team. I'm supposed to be out tonight. I'm literally leaving in 15 minutes, so this is going to be an incredibly rushed video. Game Week 27 went really well for me. A big green arrow of about 110k there. 92 points in total. Super good week. I didn't take a hit in terms of transfers, and I had 5 double-digit players there. Well, 4 if you don't include Haaland, because he only got single digits but then doubled to 12. Areola going massive there for penalty save. Actually made the wrong call technically starting Areola, because he did lose his clean sheet, but he ended up getting more points than Dubravka because of the penalty save. So yeah, that's a example of the decision was incorrect, but the outcome was correct. Ben White was the absolute hero for me. I've been going on about how terrible of a pick Ben White has been. He has been nothing but caused me red arrows because of Gabriel. I did bring in Gabriel this game week, but Ben White managed to get a goal. He got an early sub to bank in the clean sheet. That didn't matter anyway, but yeah, I'm so happy that I kept him all this time for him to get his 13-pointer, and he was only about 2% owned as well. So yeah, really nice. Gabriel, who I brought in, doing the double up on the Arsenal defence, getting me a clean sheet, really nice. Bradley getting an 8-pointer, super good. And yeah, the double-digit hauls there from Foden and Watkins going absolutely massive. Very glad that I didn't do anything drastic and took them out of my team. Blanks from Neto, De Bruyne and Tony. Neto going off because of an injury was just absolutely typical, to be honest. De Bruyne blanking again. Very good. Glad to see the back of him. Honestly, he's been a terrible transfer in. And Tony as well has not got a single return for me in my team. So yeah, still a really decent green arrow thanks to Ben White absolutely saving me there from, it would have been a small green arrow otherwise, but yeah, huge green arrow was really nice. Moving on to the Game Week 28 team. Now, I haven't actually got, I have wildcarded. I will say that I've used the wildcard. I'm currently tinkering around with the team to try and get team value by transferring in players who are going up in price. So I've got a draft here over on FPL Team. Really good site. I really recommend you check it out. And yeah, this is pretty much going to be what the team is. There is one position, or two, I'd probably say, who are still up for debate. So let's run through the team really quickly. Neto in goal, I'm going to go with as my Bournemouth defender. I'm going with him because I just think he's a season keeper, no pun intended, in terms of I'll probably just play him every single week. Other than the blank game week, he doesn't play in the blank game week, so that's why I've got Areola in the team as cheap as possible, someone who plays in the blank game week. And yeah, I'll probably just play Neto week in, week out. He does have an upcoming double as well in hopefully game week 34, sorry. Could be in game week 37, but yeah, hopefully it's in game week 34. And yeah, basically keeping around for that would be really good. Doherty is in the team as well for the attacking threat, as well as the having a double game week. I'm really not hopeful of Luton keeping any clean sheets. In fact, I don't think they've kept a clean sheet in any away fixture this season. But Doherty has a really good assist potential, and I definitely want to include him as the Luton defender. Gabriel stays in the team as well. I have said goodbye to Ben White. Gabriel's just considerably cheaper and does have far more attacking threat, I feel, from corners and set pieces. I know Ben White has looked exceptional in the last game, but yeah, I think it is time to say goodbye with him, unless I might go back to double Arsenal defence at some point. But yeah, with the blank coming up, it just seems a bit of a tricky thing to manage into the team. I'll go back to Konza in a little bit. Saka's definitely staying in the team. So much value kept in him. And yeah, he's just going to sit on the bench for that blank game week. No chance he's going anywhere. Tavernier is my punt for the game week. I really wanted to take a punt on a Bournemouth attacker whose name wasn't Solanke, just because those fixtures are so good. I know that none of the Bournemouth attackers other than Solanke are really screaming out there. I think your choice is between Tavernier, Semenyo, and Kluivert. I think those are the three that you could potentially go for. I think the likes of Cook and Christie and Alex Scott either aren't attacking enough or their minutes are just looking really poor. I think both of those, all three of those who I just mentioned, could get 2 starts in the double. And yeah, Tavernier I think is just such a fun pick. Obviously, if you follow the channel for a while, Mel has, I think he's going to have the armband on Tavernier as well, and I'm going to join her in owning Tavernier. I just think he's got the minutes, he has the potential to do well, and the fixtures are so good. I think he's the better choice out of the 3. I think Cliver is also a very solid choice. He's been playing better recently. I'm just a bit cautious that he could get benched. Tavernier has started so many games in a row now, I've actually lost track. I know he's a bit injury prone, but Cliver has been rested from time to time. And even when Semenyo was out, Tavernier was playing on the right. The fact he can play on the left and the right, I think massively helps him. Cliver, I think, could get benched for the likes of Sinistera or Alex Scott playing in the attacking role. Could potentially get rested for one of those. I think if Sinistera comes into the team, I don't think Tavernier drops out of it. Fingers crossed. Bowen definitely going to be on the wildcard. That home fixture against Burnley is really good, and he plays in the double. Absolutely set on the wildcard. Son also completely set on the wildcard. Now playing as the striker with Richarlison currently out, and yeah, pretty much the only premium in the team right now. Definitely going to include him. And the front 3 is completely locked in. There is no way that is changing unless we get some news about Solanke definitely being out. Solanke's definitely taking the armband. I'm not going to overthink it. I'm not going to try and be clever like I did against Haaland captaincy. This is the most obvious captain we'll have for the entire season. Solanke with Sheffield United at home and Luton at home. There is no point backing against him, I feel like. Morris could be a potential shout. He will probably have my vice captaincy. But yeah, I just don't think there's any point. I'm not even trying to like analyze it or think about it. It's 2 brilliant fixtures. If he's fully fit, he'll be on penalties, he'll play all the time. There is no point going against Solanke this game week. He is just flat out the best choice. And Watkins completes the front 3. It's a nice game against Spurs, actually. He obviously plays in the double, ridiculously good form. It'd be very difficult for me to give up Watkins at this stage in time. But yeah, the Spurs fixture is great, given Spurs' high line. I think could really do some damage and be in the goals. And then moving on to the bench, obviously Areola is there, like I mentioned. Reguilon is there for the good Burnley fixture in the blank game week, and he's relatively cheap. Maddison is on the bench there. I'm not too keen about benching Maddison. I could potentially get rid of Tavernier for someone like Palmer, and then maybe play Maddison or get someone else there. But Maddison would definitely be there for the blank, and then he's got the Luton fixture in game week 30, so that's the main reason why he's there, and I think he's just a nice differential. And Udogie is there. Now, we did get news that Porro is actually back. I think I'm still going to stick with Udogie. He's looked really attacking as of recent, and Porro's numbers have really dropped off since Maddison's been back, because Maddison's now taking set pieces and I believe corners. Porro might still be on corners. But Udogie's look really attacking, and he's considerably cheaper. And I'm going to need that money when I want to get Salah and Haaland back into this team. So that's currently how the wildcard draft looks. The one position that's mainly up for grabs here is Konza. I'm not really happy with Konza in the team. That defensive spot, I basically need a defender who's good for this game week, 28. Ideally plays in the blank in 29, because I've currently got 9 players, and I'm going to do Solanke to Tony. For the Burnley fixture, so that's 10. So I ideally need someone who plays in 29 and then has a good fixture in 30. Those are basically the 3 qualifications for this position. Currently, my favourite options are a Luton defender. I don't really want to double up on the Luton defence, but with 4 fixtures in the next 3 game weeks, and they kind of tick all the boxes, so I might potentially go there. Konza's a nice option just as someone who gets the minutes and also back in the Villa defence. And Robinson from Fulham, because Fulham do sort of tick the boxes. They've got Sheffield United in game week 30, brilliant fixture. They've got a good fixture this week against Wolves. I don't think many people are going to have a Fulham defender or even a Fulham player for that matter. And they do play in game week 29. It's not the best fixture, but I do really like the look of Robinson. So that is potentially where I'm leaning, and that is currently how the wildcard draft is looking. The only other player that I really want is Salah. He would be on the bench, obviously, for game week 29. Sorry. And it would mean that I'd only have 10 players for definite in game week 29. But I've got a really good feeling about him against against Man City. And then he's straight back in for Game Week 30. Game Week 30, I'd planned to get Salah in anyway, and Palmer. Those were the two players coming in. And then Game Week 31, I'd planned to get Haaland and then move someone else to make money. I've gone through the different game weeks on FPL team, and yeah, the moves is possible. I'd have to sacrifice either Tony obviously being in for Solanke, or Maddison to essentially afford Salah and Haaland back into the team. But yeah, that's currently how the team's looking. Very quickly looking at the mid-league team of the game week, 114 points here for David Cirilli. Really, really nice. A full set of returns, a full house. Really, really pretty to look at. And a bench boost that worked out pretty well. Only 2 blanks on the bench. Solanke against Burnley as well was a bit of a rare one. And Man City losing their clean sheet. So yeah, 2 very unlucky blanks there. But yeah, an incredibly good set of results there. To be honest, no really big differential here, just a solid team full of people who consistently did well. Despite captaining Haaland wasn't even the top pick. Bench boosting was really good though, giving you bench to Areola. Could have been Dubravka as well, but yeah, still 20 points from both your goalkeepers is massive. I don't think anyone will get that in a double game week. So yeah, absolutely huge score there from David. And this has shaped up the team of the game week leaderboard a little bit. I think David is somewhere on here. Yeah, he's in 11th. And I think there's a couple shiftings here and there, but yeah, pretty much still the same here with Marianne in first, Jared there in second, and Harvey hanging on in third. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up for this video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed. Really, really quick on my end, so it's a bit of a poor quality, this one. I will post my final team on my Twitter, of course. And yeah, I hope you all enjoy this game week, and I'll see you in the next FPL video.